It's guys, it's Tuesday. I tried to change that to a net with a Sharpie. Didn't work real well, so I'm gonna have to get a heat gun and some letters or something. And then Pete Kasinskis wants a Humanifort shirt to wear as well. It's helped him tremendously and many of the people in his family. His dad, his mom have had all kinds of very good things happen from taking it. And he's got multiple friends taking it, and they love it as well. But Pete's one of those guys that when he believes in something, he believes in it, and I'm the same way. When something that exciting comes in across my lap, I'm not just going to shrug it off like this is the greatest product in the world, And when you're almost 50 years old and your body's running at the level it was in its 30s, it's awesome. And then the recovery aspect is great. And he recently did. I've done it. Some of my clients have done it, and he did it. Recently ran out, and then like by day 3, you're used to the way you feel on it all the time. And then if you're training hard, your recovery's better, and you can just keep training. Well, then you run out, and like 3 days later, you feel gassed, sore. You don't really want to work out because you're so tired and dragging. And then you notice, you're like, oh my God, this stuff really is helping me a lot. But and the more you take, the better it gets. I don't know if there's there's obviously a limit, but I've heard guys take it up to 8 of them a day, and it depends on the level a person's at. Like, you can use it just to treat people in the family that are getting the type 2 of the blood sugar issues. I'm not going to say the word because the federal government owns it, and they make a lot of money off of it. But something like that, you can dementia stuff, things like that, you can give it to people, and just like one of them twice a day is sufficient usually, to help aid in treatment of the C word. You want to take 4 a day. But people that are training really seriously and multiple times a day, it's amazing when you switch to like 6 a day, you can pull it off. It's pretty awesome. And then you can recover, and it's growth factors are the first line of communication in the entire body, and without them, hormones are useless, because the receptors wouldn't work, the signals wouldn't, like, hormones would be useless without the growth factors. So the growth factors are the most important thing to you, and once you have them in place, then the only thing, maybe you have some low T or something from there. But if you're training hard and taking Humanifort, a lot of times your testosterone will come up. The problem is a lot of guys take Humanifort and then they don't train that hard, and their test levels come up just a little bit, but it's because the communication is saying that you just only need this much test because your performance isn't that great. Now, guys doing, high volume, heavier training for longer periods of time, multiple times a day, things like that, and you're eating plenty of protein and cholesterol, and the growth factors are going to signal that we need more we need more testosterone in order to feed these muscles. But then the TRT, I can help guys with that in multiple aspects depending on what they want to do. I personally like the new nasal delivery. It's pretty simple and fast and foolproof. So and then the 10 milligrams a day with cypionate, big fan of that as well. And but other than that, I'm making some eggs. I haven't had a pump, like a really good pump, in a long time. And my shoulder and everything and neck is really coming around. I'm really happy with the process. Like, I'm actually starting to do movements. I was doing some lateral raises. I couldn't do them with 10 pounds for a while. And I was doing some actual lateral raises. So my delts are almost where they need to be and stuff. And then I forgot I had some sildenafil in the closet. If you need some sildenafil, hit up Wesley Inman at Gym and Tonic. He's got all that stuff. But the tadalafil I like for the romance, you know what I mean? Because it lasts for a longer period of time. And you can, for like a day and a half, whenever it occurs, you're ready, Sildenafil only lasts, I think, like 4 hours. But if you take it like a half hour before you start working out, your pumps get so good. Like, your pumps are ridiculous. There's nothing that can top that. So I'm gonna take some of that before I work out, and then for carbs, I'm just gonna have some Greek yogurt with a little raw honey, and then besides that, I will be talking to you soon. I'm trying to line up some people for some videos on some Humanifort and some training stuff and all that sort of good stuff. So guys, stick with me, and we're all uphill from here. I'm sorry that I was kind of MIA for a couple of weeks, and I explained in the post why, with the 7-hydroxy and having to get on Suboxone. I really don't like that, but the Suboxone did take the withdrawals away, and then you don't feel euphoric or like high. You can't really tell you took anything, except you don't have withdrawals, and it does help still with the body pain a bit, because I was like, well, the problem is I want off this shit, but they still have the body pain to deal with. And then they were like, well, Suboxone helps with body pain. It's also prescribed for that as well. So I found that it does help. So that's that. Anyway, looks like time to eat for me. I'll talk to you guys later.